great floods happened in Texas. We lost a lot of kids. There was this big camp going on in Texas. A lot of people came up missing. Kristi Noem, I call her the cosplayer in chief, is running around here putting on military gear and all this crap, putting on hats, making her ego feel good. Kristi Noem did not authorize search and rescue until 3 days after the flood. Here's the report. But even as Texas rescue crews raced to save lives, now mind you, Mexico sent rescue teams up here before her own FEMA team got here. FEMA officials realized they needed Noem's approval before sending additional assets. Noem didn't authorize FEMA Department of Urban Search and Rescue teams until Monday, more than 72 hours after the flooding began, multiple sources told CNN, and multiple sources was backed up by Sean Biden, the Mexican president, who sent troops up the very next day to help with the rescue mission. And we're all wondering what the hell is going on. So, Em, you get the floor first on this. What do you think about our cosplaying person that's not protecting the people?
I don't know how better to say that. I mean, yeah, it's certainly cosplay, and all of the outfits. I'm like, what are we doing here?
She's having fun. She's just having fun. She's playing dress up.
Yeah, I mean,
our lives.
It's ridiculous. You know, let me like kind of bring this back to Elon, right? So Elon, the town, not the other one. You know, so when Helene hit here in North Carolina, we sent members of our firefighters and our police department.
Sure did.
Last month, we had to pass a budget amendment at the cost of $105,000 to our small town, right? Now, that is money that we are hoping to get back through FEMA, but I question that. So now I don't care, right? Like, I don't care to have to spend that money. I think that's money well spent by the town of Elon and our taxpayers to help our neighbors in Western North Carolina. But it's questioned if we're going to be able to get that money back when we provided the services to that area, in hopes. Now, we would have done it anyway, and I'm sure our firefighters and our police officers would have also been willing to just volunteer their time and efforts. But we didn't want to do that. We wanted to pay for their time and effort because they went and did that. So that's already an issue. Now, I think that this just goes back to the incompetence of the administration. This is why you need qualified, experienced, and educated people. If I had a tumor that needed to be removed, I wouldn't go and say, "Oh, let me go to the doctor on Fox News who doesn't have a medical license."
Em, you mean to tell me you wouldn't let RFK work on you? He's head of medicine.
I have an actual degree in a health related field, and yeah, that's ridiculous. And so, you know, again, like, I'm not gonna hire a Fox News commentator without a medical license to remove my tumor. I want the most experienced surgeon I can find within my insurance network to do that surgical procedure. We should put minimum qualifications on every job. Presidents can still pick who they want, but they should have to have minimum qualifications. And simply being the governor of a state should not be the qualification. Like, you need to have experience in the field for that department of government. You know, in the town of Elon, I'm not going to hire, you know, a police chief who's never been a police officer. I'm not going to hire a fire chief that's never been a firefighter. It doesn't make sense that our federal government, and I don't care what party it is, right? Not just talking about Trump and his administration, every single head of every single department should be highly qualified and experienced in the field in which they are serving.
Right.
And that's not radical. That's very logical. You should be more qualified than the people below you because you're leading them.
Yeah.
Clara, let me lob this for you. I'll be Kobe this time. You can be Shaq. I'm gonna throw you the alley-oop. Emily, the problem we have is that Republicans and MAGA have for years been trying to dumb down their electorate and the people that follow them into believing these new online quacks that tell you if you drink salt water, it'll heal your kidney failure. Well, I live with a kidney doctor who will tell you that shit is a lie. It's not going to heal your kidney failure. They'll tell you, Gary Brecker will tell you to drink ionized water and it's going to solve all your gut issues. And because they made people, MAGA has made people not trust professionals by picking anecdotal evidence and then pushing it as conspiracies, they've made it to the point where the only people they feel like they can believe in is Trump and MAGA. And I think another long-term thing Democrats have got to start doing early in education is teaching critical thinking skills. Floor is yours, Claire.
So growing up right outside of DC, my parents would get a lot of calls often from inquirers from the federal government who were vetting people. So we had neighbors. One of my neighbors was the head of HUD. Or another one of my neighbors was the assistant attorney general under Bush. Whatever. But there'd be a new administration or anything going on, and they would be calling anyone who's associated with this person, an ex-boss, an ex-boyfriend, just anyone, a neighbor. And they wanted all the information they could get on, does this person ever do drugs? Does this person, have you ever seen them hit a person? Have you ever seen them act inappropriately in public? Have you ever heard them share secrets that they weren't supposed to share? And there was this sense of like, it is our responsibility as the government to look through everything we can if this person's going to represent us. Right. And so I always thought that once you are even just being considered for a position, you are vetted. And I don't know how they've gone around the system, but it's like every single person that I see in this administration, I'm like, you wouldn't have passed round one. I don't understand. Even getting Elon Musk in the House. I mean, not in the House, in the White House, like just hanging out. Does he have top secret clearance? My parents had top secret clearance. My dad got polygraphs done every 6 months for his whole career, and I'm like, so this is how y'all are treating people who are not the head of anything. How the hell are these people getting through the filters, the process? I just don't understand what sorts of gymnastics they're doing. And I guess if it's not being enforced by anyone, then you can just do it. But it's just sad because that was my model growing up of like how serious the government is and how serious it is to be a representative within the government, whether you're the little person or you're the leader. And so it's just really disappointing to see the downfall in merit. It's just a lack of merit. And it's dangerous because you don't want someone who's never been a firefighter to be your fire chief. It's a public health risk. It's a public risk in many ways. And I also think, how ironic is it? And what a slap in the face to MAGA that Mexico, big bad Mexico, that they love to say is, they're our enemy at the border and they're sending all their awful people our way because they don't want to deal with them and their government's so corrupt. They immediately sent relief. They also did it with wildfires in California. Yeah. Mexico's government with, Americans, I'm not saying this, but the Americans who are like, they're a horrible government. They don't have resources. They don't have money. Well, the second that we need help, they're sending it. And then they have people passing through their country who might not even be Mexican, who are just trying to get here because of the economy that we have. People are like, look at all these awful Mexicans. So it's just so funny that how many people in Texas are MAGA and had to see that their dear leader and his people delayed help in an emergency. It doesn't get any more serious than this. And Mexico stepped in first.
Well, Claire, the thing is, we've talked about how if you're deep MAGA, you're in a delusion. And oftentimes that delusion is not pierced because they're not reporting that stuff on Fox News or the MAGA bubbles on social media. They don't hear this stuff oftentimes. So when they hear us say it, they'll say we're lying. And then you oftentimes know when you love someone so much, you don't want to hear nothing bad about them anyway. So they don't go looking for the information to see if it's true or not.